Shalom Aleichem and welcome to Online Smicha. You know, so much emphasis or Kedusha is put on Kisvei Kodesh, on Svarim. Hen, in the positive, how you have to show honor and respect to all Svarim, and also on how you have to be very careful not to be disrespectful to Kisvei Kodesh. Now, the Rambam says in Hilchos Yesodei HaTorah, Perek Vav Halacha Ches, Kisvei HaKodesh Kulam, any holy written sefer, Upirushehem, and even Svarim that are explaining the Kisvei HaKodesh, Ubiurehem, Asur Lisrei Foisam Oila Abdam Biyad. You're not allowed to destroy or burn a sefer. You're not allowed to, because it is holy. Now, if you listen to the words of the Rambam, he doesn't say necessarily something that has Hashem's name in it. He says anything which is holy, anything which is Kisvei HaKodesh, Pirushehem Ubiurehem. There is a tshuva from Rav Moshe Sternbuch where he discusses how a teacher is allowed to, on the whiteboard, on the blackboard, write a pasuk, even if it doesn't have Shem Hashem, so the children should learn the pasuk, and then erase the pasuk because he's up to pasuk beis. If we say you're not allowed to be ma'abed biyad, just destroy it, perhaps that's a problem. And there is many forms of discussions like that halachically. For example, the printer who has the blueprints or the starting point of how you're able to print old-fashioned letters, and they had to put it into lead and all this, and then change it and change it into new letters. Why would that not be considered ma'abed biyad? There is a tshuva, and the other poskim will discuss how about these little mini tehillims or many svarim that you literally can't even read it. And to be able to read those small svarim, you need a magnifying glass. Is that an issue? And all these shilas, you have to know that most of the poskim have a very big difficulty finding a way of how people do it, because we put strong kedusha on svarim, on Kisvei Kodesh in general. Obviously, if there is Hashem's name mentioned there, then it moves up not only one level. It moves up many more levels that you have to be very careful not to destroy, not to ruin, God forbid, any small part of Hashem's name. One of the examples where you could see how we put kedusha in Svarim, in Shulchan Aruch it's mentioned that the Alter Rebbe says in Siman Sadik Vav Seif Gimel, the Alter Rebbe says if somebody's a middle Shemona Esrei, it's only me and God, and you see a sefer fell, and right near you a sefer fell on the ground, and because the sefer is on the ground, your mind is, I can't think anymore. I can't have proper kavanah in Shemona Esrei. So the Alter Rebbe says you're allowed to pick it up when you finish your bracha that you're saying now, middle of Shemona Esrei. You're allowed to go and pick up the sefer Torah, the sefer. That shows how important Kedusha's sefer is. There are many halachas of when you bind a sefer, what is honorable, what is respectful to use as equipment, or the extra additional papers that you got to stuff in to make the sefer bound properly. Not everything is allowed to be used because the sefer has to be kadosh, has to be holy. One of the things you might want to know is the Rambam, that same Sif, says that the definition of a holy sefer is if it was written shakashvu oisam Yisrael b'kedusha, if a Yid wrote it in a holy manner. Avol min Yisrael shakasav sefer Torah. However, if there's an apikoros that wrote a sefer Torah, it's a sefer Torah, but it's an apikoros that wrote it. Soyrfin oisoi im ha'askara shabai. Even though there's Hashem's names mentioned there, Rahman al-Atzlan, you're allowed to burn it. Mipnei she'enai ma'imim b'kedushas Hashem, because he is one who doesn't believe in the kedusha of the Eibishter. V'loi kasvoi ela v'hu ma'ilo b'daita shezeh kishar dvarim, because when he wrote Hashem's name, by him Hashem's name had the same value as the other words that he wrote. So there was no special kedusha. V'hoyel v'daita kain, since that was his intention when he wrote it, loy niskadesh Hashem u'mitzvah l'sarfai. And not only you're allowed to, but it's a mitzvah to burn. Kidei shaloi lahaniach shem leminim v'loy l'maaseyim. So apikorsim, and whatever actions they do, not to let them have any stance in what they do. It's a mitzvah to burn it. Aval goy shekasev as Hashem, but if it was a goy that wrote Hashem's name, because he's not an apikoros, he's obviously didn't have the kedusha of a Yisrael, but the Shem Hashem has some kedusha to it now. Goins and noisoi, and the Rambam continues, v'chein kisvei hakodesh shebalu, or any holy sefer or paper that has kisvei hakodesh that became old, oy shekasvim goy yiganzu. So you know that in Poskim there are so many shilas here. There are shilas of copy paper, that the misprints and all the different forms of shamus, newspapers being shamus because there's an article that has a divrei Torah inside. That's a dual issue. If that divrei Torah part is unseparable, do you have to put the whole newspaper in the garbage, in the shamus, because there's divrei Torah? Some people read the newspaper in the bathroom. If there's a divrei Torah there, could you read it in the bathroom? After all, 98% of the newspaper is not holy. All these shilas a person has to be aware, because the kedushas of sefer is not only necessarily by sefer Torah. Obviously, a sefer Torah for sure has the kedusha, but the Rambam and the Shulchan Aruch clearly says that every sefer has kedusha, and we should value it and treasure it. Yashar koach, and please join us again next week.